The light in the great bamboo forest is a pale, green-tinged twilight. It filters down through a canopy so dense that the sky is a forgotten memory. For the people of the red ochre, 32 souls in all, it is a kind of sanctuary. After a moon of walking from the sun-scorched plains where the long necks strip the acacia trees bare, this place of endless water and cool shade feels like a gift from the spirits. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth and the hollow, musical creaking of the colossal grasses swaying in the wind. This is a new chapter in their long and arduous hominid history, a search for a place to simply exist. A young woman named Elia finds a patch of fat, white grubs in a rotting log, and her quiet cry of success is a small, bright sound in the immense green silence. These are the moments that sustain. The clan's lead scout, a weary old man named Kale whose face is a roadmap of past hardships, is the first to feel the change. It is not a sound, but an absence of it. The chattering of the monkeys in the upper stalks ceases. The birds fall silent. Kale freezes, one hand resting on the smooth, worn wood of his fire-hardened spear. He signals to the others. He signals to the others. They stop, a scattered collection of shadows among shadows, their movements born from a deep, instinctual understanding of what silence in a vibrant world means. He points. 20 paces ahead, a stalk of bamboo as thick as his own thigh is snapped cleanly in two, 10 feet from the ground. The break is fresh, the fibrous white pith exposed to the air like a raw wound. There are no storm winds. No other trees are damaged. It looks as if a giant simply reached out and broke it. The clan gathers their earlier relief curdling into a familiar, cold dread. Their existence as Homo sapiens has been defined by recognizing patterns, and this one is terrifyingly new. Later, as the low sun turns the green world to orange and black, they find more signs. A trail of immense, knuckle-walking prints pressed a foot deep into the soft loam. They are not the splayed tracks of a bear or the clawed marks of some great lizard. They are uncannily familiar, like the print of a man's hand, but scaled to the size of a god. The path of destruction is deliberate, a clear territorial marking. The scout sent ahead, a fast runner named Oen, does not return. No sound of a struggle. He is simply gone. As dusk settles, a low, guttural hoot echoes through the forest, a sound so deep it seems to vibrate in their bones. It is a sound of inquiry and of warning. They build their fires high that night, the flames pushing back the encroaching darkness. They have not found a sanctuary. They have walked into a cage, and now they can hear the keeper stirring. Every whisper of the bamboo is the footstep of a monster. The brutal truth of their prehistoric life settles upon them. They are no longer the hunters. They are the trespassers. The nights become a lesson in fear. The Gigantopithecus is intelligent. It does not simply charge their camp. It tests them. Boulders the size of a human head arc out of the darkness, smashing into the fire and sending sparks flying like panicked insects. At the edge of the firelight, its shape appears for a heartbeat, a wall of dark fur and immense, shadowed muscle, before melting back into the black. It rips a bamboo stalk from the earth and thrashes it against its neighbors, creating a deafening, percussive roar that rattles their teeth and shreds their nerves. Sleep is impossible. The children whimper, and the adults can only stare into the darkness with wide, haunted eyes. They are besieged. One night, a young hunter named Law, who strays too far from the fire to relieve himself, is simply plucked from the world. There is a single, choked-off scream, the sound of a heavy body being dragged through the undergrowth, and then silence. The beast is learning their habits. The loss of Law is the breaking point. The fear that paralyzed them now hardens into a cold, diamond-sharp resolve. Kel gathers the elders in the flickering heart of the camp. Elias' mother, Mora, her hands never still as she twists cordage from fibrous bark, speaks first. Her voice is low, steady. "It hunts us for sport," she says, not looking up. "It is driving us mad before it kills us." Kale nods, his gaze fixed on the wall of bamboo that hides their tormentor. "We cannot run," he rasps. Oen is gone. Laura is gone. The forest is its home. Every step we take, it will know. This is the brutal calculus of survival, a truth fundamental to the experience of Homo sapiens. When you cannot outrun the predator, you must outthink it. There, in the beleaguered circle of firelight, the seed of an impossible idea takes root. They will not flee. They will not hide. They will hunt the hunter. The plan they devise is an act of collective genius, a masterpiece of primitive technology born from desperation. They cannot kill it with their small spears, but they can use the forest against it. For 3 days, the clan works with a feverish, silent intensity. The men, led by Kale, use their flint axes to fell dozens of bamboo stalks, not felling them completely, but cutting them partway through so they can be pushed over to form converging walls, creating a natural funnel that leads to a shallow ravine. The women and older children, under Mara's direction, weave a net of thick, thorny liana vines, a monstrous thing 50 feet across. It's not spooled tight by the combined strength of 10 people. The younger children gather the sharpest stones they can find. This is their community in motion, every member contributing to the desperate gamble. They are turning their skills, weaving baskets, chopping wood, gathering stones, into the components of a weapon against a demigod. They hoist the massive net high into the canopy above the ravine, held in place by a single, thick anchor vine stretched across the path and disguised with leaves. Below it, others work to sharpen the ends of bamboo stumps and embed fire-hardened stakes into the ravine's floor, angled upwards. They are not just building a trap. They are weaving a cage of thorns, leveraging gravity, engineering, and the beast's own predictable rage against it. As the 3rd day ends, the work is done. The net hangs like a spider's promise in the gloom. The pit waits. The clan retreats, their bodies aching, their hands raw and bleeding. They have built their monument to defiance. Now, all they can do is wait for the forest god to come and inspect their handiwork. The bait is Kale himself, along with 2 of the clan's fastest young men. They move into the forest's gloom, a deliberate, noisy intrusion. They beat their spears against the bamboo, their calls echoing in the green stillness, an open challenge. For a long time, there is nothing but the sound of their own manufactured clamor. Then, the forest answers. The deep, guttural hoot returns, closer this time, and filled with a raw-building fury. The ground begins to tremble with the rhythm of immense, knuckle-walking strides. A shadow detaches itself from the deeper shadows, a mountain of muscle and shaggy, reddish-brown fur. The Gigantopithecus rises to its full 10-foot height, its face a mask of rage, yellowed tusks bared in a snarl. It beats its chest with fists like stone mallets, a thunderous declaration of war. Kel meets its eyes for a single, terrifying second before turning to run. The 3 men sprint, their bare feet flying over the familiar ground. They pour into the mouth of the bamboo funnel, the grey tape crashing behind them. Its raw a physical force that seems to push them forward. It is blinded by rage, seeing only the fleeing prey, unaware that the walls are closing in, that the path is not one of choice but of design. As the last man clears the ravine, Kale, waiting at the side, uses his flint axe to slash through the taut anchor vine. The sound of the parting cord is a sharp crack, lost in the beast's bellow. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, with a great rushing sound of tearing leaves and groaning branches, the thorny net falls. It lands squarely on the great primate's head and shoulders, a 50-foot blanket of thorns and liana. The beast stumbles, roaring in surprise and pain, and pitches forward into the shallow ravine, its legs tangling in the sharpened stakes below. The trap holds. The forest erupts in a cacophony of enraged screaming as the Gigantopithecus thrashes, the thorns digging deeper, the stakes piercing its thick hide. But it is not defeated. It is caged. Now, the second phase begins. From the safety of the bamboo walls, the rest of the clan emerges. They do not cheer. Their faces are grim, their movements precise. The air fills with the whir of hurled stones. The ancient tools of their people, each one finding its mark on the beast's exposed hands and face. Spears, their tips hardened in fire, dart through gaps in the funnel, delivering shallow, painful wounds. This is not a battle for a clean kill. It is a lesson taught in a language of 1,000 cuts. It is the ultimate expression of their survival skills. The beast, for the first time in its dominant life, feels the sting of coordinated, intelligent malice. It rips at the net. Its incredible strength, tearing the thick vines. But for every one it breaks, a dozen stones strike its knuckles. A spear pierces its flank. Pain is a new and unwelcome teacher. With a final titanic heave, it tears its leg from the pit, breaking the stakes, and drips a hole in the net wide enough to pull its massive head through. It fixes its gaze on the small figures tormenting it, and in its intelligent eyes, a new emotion flickers alongside the rage. Fear. It turns, and with a sound that is half roar and half sob, it crashes away into the forest, leaving behind blood, broken bamboo, and a silence more profound than any that had come before. The people of the Red Ochre do not celebrate. They stand in the ruins of their creation, listening to the retreating sounds of the wounded god, their bodies trembling with the aftermath of adrenaline and terror. They have survived. They did not conquer the forest, but they have signed a treaty with its sovereign, written in blood and fear. In the days that follow, they hear the great ape's calls in the distance. But they are no longer the sounds of a confident ruler. They are the wary cries of a creature that has learned the world contains new and terrible things. This single brutal encounter, a footnote in the immense saga of prehistoric life, is a moment of profound significance. It is the primal scene of our species' improbable ascent. Here, in the green twilight, a handful of ancient humans proved that the mind could weave a net strong enough to catch a monster, that community was a weapon more potent than brute strength, and that courage could make the smallest of creatures the most dangerous thing in the forest. They did not know they were writing the first chapter of human dominance. They only knew they refused to be prey. That decision made in desperation around a dwindling fire is an echo that has never faded. It is the very foundation of the audacity that would one day lead their descendants to question the stars. How much of that desperate, brilliant courage still lies in the heart of a world that has forgotten the giants in the woods? The chronicle of our survival is etched not in stone, but in the echoes of the roars we dared to answer. What terror awaits when the earth itself proves to be the hunter?